This is a Headgum podcast.
Sometimes when the world feels insane, you can take a little peek inside of Rachel's little brain. All these thoughts are swirling round and round inside. So join us on this journey as we take a little ride. We'll talk about dogs and kids and things. We'll talk about chicks and tampon strings. We'll talk about boys that'll make you cry. We'll talk about death, 'cause people die.
Cool. I'm rolling.
You're rolling.
Woohoo!
Welcome to Broad Ideas, guys.
Thanks.
We're here in our new studio again at Headgum. Very exciting. Sorry, just wanted to shout that out. Right, Kevin?
That's right.
Yeah.
And our guest, our first studio guest, Luciane Buchanan, is with us today, and she was such a delight.
She's the homie.
She's the homie. She was really fun to talk to and had some good stories to share. So we should just get right into it with her.
Cool.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yay, we did it.
Yay!
Welcome. We're so happy to talk to you and to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's so cool.
Oh my gosh. And I'm sorry, you're just so stunning. Like looking at you, I'm like, my goodness.
Stop.
So there's that. That's our opener.
For our opener.
For our opener.
Yeah.
It's really important everyone knows. We can
yeah,
do that.
yeah, I think they know. I think they know.
They definitely know. But yeah, so I know we had to reschedule, but we're so happy that it all has worked out. So
yeah, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'm such a big fan of the OC growing up, so this is like crazy to me.
Really? It's so interesting because you grew up in New Zealand, right?
Correct. And I actually wasn't old enough to watch the show because it was a little spicy.
Yeah.
But there was like one room in the house where the TV was like away from everyone else, and I would sneak in there and watch it on mute. So I'd just pretend I knew what was happening. Yeah.
You're probably better without hearing what was said, I'm sure. Yeah. It's so funny because Josh, the creator, we're super close, and his daughter is basically a niece to me, and she's 13, so she just started watching it. Wow. I watched the pilot with her, and I was like, cover your eyes, cover your ears.
It's so inappropriate.
Yeah,
right?
it's really inappropriate. So you were wise to watch it on mute.
Yeah. No, my parents were like, there's no way you're watching that show. And I was like, why? I mean, we were all watching Desperate Housewives at the same time. I was like, what's...
You're like, why is that okay?
Yeah, exactly. So, no, I'm such a big fan. And yeah,
Aww.
So crazy to be talking to you.
Thanks. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And
you, Olivia, as well.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that would actually be a really fun game. If you turn off the show and you have to
guess
up with
what they're saying.
Yeah, like come up with what they're saying on your own.
Oh my gosh.
That would be really fun.
Like Chino, ew, they're like, your shoes.
Ghost.
Yeah.
You have to get it to go along with them.
Yes. And with my accent as well, it'd make it even better.
Let's do it. We'll do little mock videos.
Oh my gosh, you as Marissa with the accent would be epic. Yeah. Or as Ryan.
She's a Summer.
Oh.
You're a Summer.
Yeah. Totally. Definitely a Summer.
100%.
Well, I guess I would be offended if you didn't say that. So thank you.
I mean, there's either the Summer or the Marissa. And you either identify with one or the other.
I always talk about this. So when we were kids, I call us kids because auditioning for the OC, and Olivia had an audition for Marissa, and I read the sides and I was like, oh, I like her. Like, I want to audition for her. And then I got the Summer audition and I was like, oh man.
No, and I said you should audition for Summer.
Yeah.
Because I felt like she was the more fun role.
I know. It's so funny how
right I am about everything.
And that was the role that you were meant to play in the end, you know?
You know, I'm very grateful. Very grateful. And sorry, last thing I'll say, but Stella, Josh's daughter, had her bat mitzvah and the girls are all watching the OC. And in a speech, this one girl came up to me and was like, I hate Anna.
Oh.
And I was like, yes, you do hate Anna.
Actually, yeah.
Actually,
you do.
yeah. So they all came up to me and that was the line of the night, which was really cute. But anyways.
Oh my gosh.
Enough about me.
But really quick, do you think that you are either Anna or Summer, or can you love both?
Oh, well, I can love both because I can appreciate Anna's taste in music and her love of comic books and her smarts and all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were a lot of things. So
There were a lot of things, yes.
yeah.
Yes. So you are growing up in New Zealand, watching The OC and Desperate Housewives, of course.
Yes.
And so how did you end up where you are with this amazing career and everything else? How did it all start for you?
Oh gosh, it was exactly that. Just being a kid who loved television and just glued to watching shows nonstop. And it was less films, I would say. It was definitely like really crappy sitcoms. Like Full House was like the first thing that I watched, and I was like, I want to be on TV. It wasn't like this, like art house film or anything. It was just, something every day that I would watch and look up to. And yeah, I guess I couldn't sing either. So I was like, okay, can't do that one. I want to do this. And it was kind of like a pipe dream with like my family. We'd joke about it like, oh yeah, one day when you go to Hollywood. And then it wasn't until I was 14, these girls at my school would do these after school like drama classes. But they were specifically for screen. So they would teach you how to go in for an audition and what that would look like and, learning your lines beforehand and coming in and being prepared. And we would film the scene and kind of watch it back, and the teacher would give us notes, that kind of thing. And I was like listening to these girls at school, like, what is this class? I really want to do it. So I proposed to my dad that I quit all the sports that I was playing because I was really sporty growing up, which broke his heart.
I was going to say, yeah.
He was like, what are you doing? And I was like, yeah, I want to do these really expensive acting classes after school. And he said no initially. He was just like, let's just, think about it. And then I just wouldn't let it go until eventually he let me do it. And I don't know, it was like the first thing that I did that I was like, oh, I think this is my thing. I think, I think it was really cool as a teenager to do something where you weren't afraid to look stupid and to let go of, other people's perceptions of you, which is such a big thing at 14. You're like, oh, I want to be cool and I want to fit in and all these things. So it was kind of my escape. And we got to like do scenes from Friends and Juno and all the things that I was really into. So it didn't feel like, well, obviously didn't feel like work, but it was something that I look forward to every week.
Yeah.
And then through that class, my teacher was like, I think you need to get an agent. And I was like, oh, all of a sudden, like, I don't want this. I actually don't want to be on TV and I don't want to be mocked at school or anything like that. I just kind of want to finish school and then pursue it later. And she went behind my back and she sent my tapes to this agent called Gail Cowan, and I'm still with her to this day.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. That's cool.
I know. So cool.
That's
and
really cool.
And then from there I kind of booked work. I think the first role I booked was like a TV movie, like super, super small budget, but it was like the second audition I did. And so I got to like skip school, which was really fun for me.
Yeah.
And that it just kind of progressed in that way, and it all just kind of happened naturally, which is cool.
That's so cool. The one thing in my mind, I'm like, what scene did you do from Friends?
Oh, I was like, the TV movie, Did You Murder Someone? Yeah.
These are how our brains work.
Yeah, I go to murder.
I'm trying to remember. Oh my gosh. We did so many. I can't even remember. I wish I could. That was 2005 or something like that.
So long ago.
Long.
I know.
Yeah,
I was like half kidding just because I know every scene.
Yeah.
But that's so cool. But how it happened for you is amazing. And I mean, very, what's like American Dream vibes? No, not the show, but like,
Right.
Yeah.
Like the dream.
Like the dream.
Like the actual American dream.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's like not the show. But then didn't you go on to study psychology?
Yeah, because with acting, it's seasonal. It's not always, you're not always booking things. So I had like a year out of high school where I was like, oh, when I, audition, that didn't really go to plan. So I was like, okay, we need a plan B. And so I went to the University of Auckland and studied psychology, thinking I was going to get into social work, and then realized that that's a hard job and
Very.
required, a lot of strength that a 21-year-old did not have at the time. And
Wow.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think acting, 21-year-old acting is almost harder on the self-esteem and soul than social work. At least you're having like the impact and you get to see it. I feel like they're both hard in vastly different ways.
oh my gosh, like for sure, definitely like with the show that I'm on now, how big that's gotten. I'm like, well, this is actually quite crazy. Like, there's so many opinions, and when people tell you about the numbers, you're like, okay, that's really nerve-wracking and overwhelming.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't say one's better than the other, but yeah, for sure,
Right.
it's full on.
And that show broke. Tell us about those records. Didn't they break a bunch of records for being the most streamed
Yeah.
show? Or
I mean, I don't remember the numbers off by heart. That would be a bit creepy. But
What if
I
you
know
did? You're
that
like, I have it tattooed.
yeah.
So, I think we were the most watched Netflix show in 2023. I think the seventh most watched Netflix show ever,
Wow.
which was crazy because at the time we had no idea if anyone would watch it because you don't have that in mind while you're making it. And so, yeah, that was wild when that all came out. And I was back home in New Zealand like, oh, I'm just going to put the phone away and just carry on with my other job. But yeah, the second time round, being over here in the States, I'm like, oh gosh, this is really, really overwhelming.
Yeah, but so cool. And it's just like,
So cool.
yeah, amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very, very exciting. It just makes me think about like Olivia and I, we're always talking.
Too much.
Never stop talking.
We're actually in a fight right now, but
we
we're
actually,
doing really
we're not
well.
going to go there. We are fighting because she disagreed with me on something and I never do okay with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to know.
Yeah, we'll bring you into it.
We can bring you
We
into
can
it.
bring you into
Well,
it.
I was
Sure.
going to bring you into something else.
Oh,
Because,
bring her in. Bring her in.
well, I was going to bring her into, because it just reminds me, right? Like you have this wildly successful show and it's something you've been working at for a long time and, something you dreamed up or whatever. And it just made me think of like when we were talking about bucket lists.
Oh, yeah.
So it sounds like a bucket list thing to have a show, obviously, that you're proud of and that's successful and everything. But we were just talking about bucket lists and if people have them.
Right.
So I guess that's the first question. Do you have a bucket list?
And if you do, what
Please
is
share.
I make like a list every year, kind of like, for New Year's resolutions, but just kind of things that I want to tick off, like places I want to go to or, creative projects, personal things. So yeah, I mean, do I have it here?
Oh my
come
God,
on.
if you have it.
Break it out.
Should I
Read
find
us your
it?
Yeah, you
diary.
should find it.
Come on, dear
Yeah.
diary.
I love it. I always keep it in my phone under notes. Everything
I do
need,
too.
which maybe isn't the best idea, but wait, do you have an actual notepad?
Oh, just in like a notebook. Wait, what
You
did I
don't?
write? Just in here. Wait,
Yeah.
do you
I
guys
do.
write them down?
No, I love handwriting things down always, but I said if things I need to just like refer to are in my notes on my phone, but
Oh,
writing
that's
is
smart.
definitely the preference.
I like writing.
Yes. Oh, there's a lot of lists in here. It's like take out the trash, look for a house.
Oh my gosh, we should help you. Let's do it. Let's
take a help or take out the trash.
no, like find a house. Like what do you like? Let's like outsource it right now, right here.
Yes. Okay. There's a lot of continues because
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to like not write these crazy lists and just like,
Yeah,
you know
you
what?
just
I was
jot
on
it
this
down.
train.
Mhm.
Yeah. So a lot of it was continued not to smoke because I quit smoking last year.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Never take another puff in your life.
Ever.
Ever, not one puff. Never.
No.
She was a
No,
smoker, if you
I was
can't
a
tell.
heavy smoker.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my
13
gosh.
years clean. Never a puff.
Amazing.
The
13
freedom
years.
on the other side of it is like nothing else.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations. It's huge.
No puffs.
No puffs.
No puffs.
We need that on a shirt.
Yeah. Not one puff.
One,
Not one puff.
2 puffs, then give.
What
Puff, puff,
else?
give.
I want to direct my first short. I
Ooh.
wrote my first short 2 years ago. So that's like a creative project that I want to do. Continue going to the gym because I'm so new to the gym world.
Oh,
My cut.
so
Yeah,
is she.
Yeah. But,
Really?
Yeah. Into it though now.
She is now. 5 a.m. she
Yeah.
goes. And
5:30.
5:30, sorry. Excuse
That's
me.
incredible. I mean, I've been off because I've been sick, so 5:30 is crazy.
There's a magic to it, I think. I
She's
do.
telling you this now, but I'm going to tell you the complaints I
Yeah.
hear about the 5:30 a.m. workout.
There's been complaints, but there's so much on the other side of it.
But once you're out, you're like, I feel good.
It's also the company because I go with other people that I love and it's so fun. And
That's
it's
the-
kind of
that's
the
the
magic
thing. Yeah.
moment of my day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then everything else is downhill from there. No.
And wait, you guys are in LA, right? So
Yes.
it's not so cold. at
No,
5
it's
a.m.
raining today.
It's raining.
It actually
Oh.
gets cold at 5 a.m. in the winter. We're
Yeah.
both
Okay.
we both grew up in LA, so we can attest. I see some
Okay.
30s, although you might be used to Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Is that
Yes.
Okay.
I just know when it's like
Like near zero?
190. Yeah, 0. Yeah.
0 is 32. That's like the one baseline that I can always refer to. It's too
Yeah,
hard to
yeah.
convert otherwise.
I mean, this morning it was 45 and raining at 5:30.
That's chilly.
That's, it's a thing.
I don't know what that is.
Then,
in
yeah.
Celsius.
Okay. No, I take that back. It is still cold.
But carry on with your list.
Sorry. Okay.
We
My
want
list,
more
my
than
we
long
digress.
list.
Yeah.
What else do I have? There's so much. I have a lot of places I
Anything-
want to visit.
Yeah. Anything you see,
Where?
just shout it out. We love it all.
Okay. So I want to travel more, and then I went crazy. Japan, Sri Lanka, Mexico, Jamaica.
Are these all places you've never been?
No, never.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I always seem to go back to the same places, and I'm like, no more
Yeah.
of that. Let's find somewhere new. I want to start a martial art. I don't know
Amazing.
why.
Amazing. You
I
don't know
think
why.
it will- I don't know why. I'm like, I feel like it will help with my job. Also,
Mm.
learning how to defend yourself is probably a good thing as a woman.
Yeah.
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 Especially in New York.
Yeah.
What else?
Anywhere, really.
Yeah, just a lot of just book more work, date more.
I was just about to
Date
say,
more.
what's up with the love?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Where are you with it?
We are dating much more than last year, and it's so much fun.
Is it?
It's fun.
fun.
Okay. I need to hear this.
Yes, please tell.
I think a lot of us are looking for an outcome of some sort,
Mm.
like, oh, I want to find the one. And I'm like, you know what? The bar is on the ground.
Yeah.
So why not have fun? And I realized that mindset I used to have back in the day. And I'm like, you know what? I just like meeting people and talking to them. And if it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. And if it does, it does. So
Wow.
yeah, especially in New York, I think
Yeah. A little different.
a little different. And I'm not on the apps because I
Mhm.
think
Have you ever been?
that I was last year, and I just found the communication just really weird.
Yeah.
Like, so boring. Like, hey, how are you? Good. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally going to a bar and meeting people.
Wow.
It's
Like the
still a thing.
old-fashioned way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a thing.
Yeah.
That's
And
just
the
amazing to me.
stories are
Yeah.
so funny. And I love it. Like, a bunch of my girl mates are all single at the moment. So we're constantly
fun.
calling each other and like comparing notes. It's so good.
Have you guys ever been somewhere where you both want the same or both interested in the same person? Or any
Ooh,
more than one of
no.
you?
No?
Really?
No.
That's
Because
interesting.
we always had the same taste growing up.
We did.
So we would
Really?
yeah.
We liked the same kind of guy.
We like the same vibe.
Yeah.
What was the vibe?
But we never fought over a guy or anything.
Never
Okay,
fought
but-
over a guy, but
What? Did we?
there was
Oh, no.
there was a competitive evening.
Jesus Christ. Enough with that. That has to die.
She hates when I bring
Because
it
it's
up.
annoying.
Well, it's a really funny.
No, it's not.
It was before she got sober. It was before she
Yeah.
got
You're
sober.
not telling that story
Again.
again.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not telling the actual story
Okay.
again, but
Okay.
Oof, I'm
Footnotes.
sweating.
but we did have the same taste. Honestly, a sense of humor and like someone that's funny is very
Yeah.
important. Very.
I'm always so shocked when they are funny. I'm like, wow, they're hilarious.
Right? Because
Yeah.
like the super serious, like earnest vibe, it's tough.
Oh.
It's tough.
Oh, yeah.
They have to get the joke though. But like if you're the funny one and they laugh and they get it, I mean that counts
Yeah.
for something too.
It counts for something.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it for me though.
I
No,
didn't
it
say
needs to be.
Do you know what I
an
mean? Like
exchange.
it's got. I've
Yeah.
got to like. You got to be zinged a little bit.
You gotta zing.
Yeah.
They got to put you in your place with their wit.
Zing to zing.
Right?
Yeah.
Or bang.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
kidding.
okay,
to
let's
be-
hear your list.
Yeah, I want
Your
to know
ideal,
your
your ideal scene shopping.
Oh,
Have you
what do
written
mean?
it out? Like your
like your-
qualities you like for a guy or
Oh no, I
person or
haven't.
whatever.
I actually should.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends
She
have done
made
this.
me.
I'm not a big looks person. My friends continue to remind me. They're like, "Wow, every time it's always he's not a looker.
Is it because he's funny?
Funny, yes.
Great.
They have to be like passionate about something. Like they have to, whatever it is.
What if
like,
it's like a rock collection?
I'm sure.
Look at she's
Yeah.
lit up. Yeah, she likes it.
Yeah, rocks.
Keep your clothes on.
Yeah. Ooh. What else? Oh, I didn't think this was a big thing for me like in the past, but I think as I've gotten older, like somewhat like politically aligned.
Okay.
Like I didn't think it was
Yeah.
a big thing before, but
Nowadays,
yeah, I've
it might
yeah.
be.
Yeah, I'm like,
Mhm.
why are you saying that? That's really embarrassing, and I don't agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like in the world that we live in today, it's like, it's really important to me, I think. So
For sure.
that's another thing. And it's someone who's, really close with their family. That's
Mhm.
really important to me as well. Yeah.
I like that
What
you're
about-
doing your list right now because we've all done it and we've been friends for almost 30 years. So like we'll go through phases and write your list
Uh-huh.
and what you want. And she
Uh-huh.
wrote her list and met her husband.
Mm-hmm.
What was number 1 on your list?
I don't
Hot.
remember. Yeah, like smoking fucking hot.
I
I feel like for me at the time it was like integrity or something like that. It was like humor, integrity, all these different things. And some of the things he didn't have. He had integrity. But I remember putting on there like style and sober. Because I'm sober, I wanted someone else
Yeah.
sober, all those
Who
things.
was?
He
Yeah.
didn't have style. He wasn't sober. But as
She always talks about his jeans.
yeah,
when they
his
first
jeans
met.
were
She was like,
were like really something too. It was like being from a different political party. It was like we stand for something really different here,
Different.
you know? But as time went on, the interesting thing is I pulled that list back out and I was like, oh my God, he's got them all now.
Hmm.
Because he's sober now. He changed the way he dressed. Like all of and they weren't my influence.
Oh, good.
So it's kind of cool to have that list to go back to. And then
Back to.
I remember when working on Rachel's with her, it was like, what is actually at the top, right? Like, what is it that if we were to get rid of a few of these things, this person would still be a good, companion for you?
Hmm.
Wow.
I think it's good to explore.
I think I need a new list.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's refresh it.
Gotta refresh that old thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you both married?
No, she is. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you wrote the list a while ago.
Yeah, a long
together.
time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a child. I was in a long-term relationship,
Mhm.
but I'm currently
Yeah.
not now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need
my
to break
gosh.
out that list and
I
see
know.
what was on it.
I know. I
Yeah.
feel like funny was number 1, and then I
Yeah.
was like, maybe that shouldn't be number 1.
Also,
It's really important.
It is important, but like,
Character's
Yeah.
one too. Like you want someone with like a
Character.
backbone, character.
yeah, absolutely. But also there's guys who find everything funny and you're like, okay, that's not that funny.
That's the worst, actually.
that's the worst. You know what's even
Yeah.
worse though is a guy who thinks he's funny, and the jokes just misfire and it's like the try hard funny.
It's the worst.
That is like one of the biggest icks.
I hate it.
I
Or
know.
when they tell it and they laugh at their own thing, like you're supposed to laugh with them, and you're like, do I have to
Like,
fake
do you
laugh
lie?
right
Like, where
I-
do you
yeah.
decide that, like, if you're just like, no, this is my new thing, I'm going to be completely transparent and honest. This is how I'm entering this situation, this dating scene. And you just never
No.
laugh.
I don't want to fake laugh. I don't have it in me.
I know. I always do though. I can't
You
help. I
do?
feel
Are you
so
a people
bad for them.
pleaser?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even like when I'm at a comedy show and no one else is laughing, I'm like, like, oh, this is so bad. Like,
Have
someone
you come
else laugh with
across?
me.
Have you come across a fake yawner?
What?
It's a thing.
What do you
It's oh my god,
mean?
it's such a thing.
A
you guys.
fake yawner.
Yeah, it's just like I'm like like
Maybe
it's,
Don't even.
yes, it's like to fill the awkward silence or space, they'll throw in a
Oh
yawn.
my God. I'm going to come across this now because you've said it. And I've never seen this happen
Oh
before.
my gosh,
in
I
my life.
notice it. It's a thing, and once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you're like, that fucker's a
Doing
fake
it.
yawner. Yeah, it's not real. You're not tired.
Oh my God. That's a
doing that.
non-negotiable now. Never a fake yawner. Not a fake yawner.
Not a fake yawner.
Oh.
One time I was on a date, and it was like a first date, and the guy cried, and I was like,
At
Oh,
what?
how much?
But what did he cry about?
I
What did he
told him
fake
like
cry?
a story about my childhood or something.
Well, her childhood is tear worthy.
100%. But if you can't like laugh at the trauma or like
You got to
or
be able to
just,
laugh
like,
at it. Yeah.
be there, whatever. Like he
He
was
cried.
asking questions.
Was he an actor?
Yes.
Of course.
Where's
Of course.
And I was
Of course
so
he was.
uncomfortable. I was like, is he crying?
Okay, what kind of crying? Was it like sobbing? Was it like a
Tears
pretty tear?
running
Actual
down his
tear?
face.
But was it for show, do you think, or was it genuine?
Whatever it was, it didn't land well with me. It felt like this is weird.
How do you
You
feel
know?
about dating actors?
Great question.
Great question.
I haven't done it. I don't really want to. Who knows? I might end up with one at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I'm more in my type on set is always like
The
camera
grip.
department.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. Camera department,
They're-
grips. I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's fully.
Yeah.
Although my track record says otherwise. But
My track record says actor.
my new
Only
list.
actor.
Yeah.
My new list says
Don't put not
I
an actor though,
don't put not an actor.
because we can't manifest in the negative.
Right.
Oh no, I would never put what I don't want. I only put
Yeah.
you've trained me well. I know these things. Okay,
Yeah.
so not an yeah. So more I feel your vibe.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think, I don't know. I always perceive actors as, I don't know. I'm not one to, even though I am an actor, this is so
I know.
bad.
Listen, I get it.
Yeah, I hate when we're like sitting on set waiting and, everyone's going around telling their story and like, throwing in a little trauma dump. And you're like, I swear, like, why does this happen on every set? Like, I don't know. I'm just really turned off by it.
Really? Wait, where they
Yeah.
all just share like so many
Yeah.
feelings?
It starts off as like, oh, this is so bad. I'm like,
No, do
scared.
it.
No,
You're-
please,
Just come on. We need
we
it.
need it so badly.
It's just like, what, this is how I got into acting, exactly what I just did. And then it's like this hard story, like, I was homeless or I did this or, I struggled with this. And it's just like, it's been 20 minutes. We've just said hello. Like, this is a lot.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. That really
Yeah.
see, I don't know. Like
What don't you know?
I'm trying to think. I mean, of course that's happened, but like
Yeah.
that's so interesting that it keeps happening to you. And I'm just like
I must be like inviting it. Like,
you
tell
are.
me.
You're like, give
Tell
me all
me.
your trauma. I want to hear
Thank
it.
you.
I'm curious, in your guys' opinion, what do you think draws someone to the art of acting? Because if there's a common denominator, right? Like we all know this isn't new information about actors in general. There's like a
Yeah.
stigmatism that goes with it.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is that draws people to that profession?
Gosh, it's a really good question. There's so many types of people who act in general, and and not just act, they do multiple
Mm.
things. They're in the music industry, you
Mhm.
know, they might do theater as well, like Broadway. I guess it's still acting, but I don't know. I have no idea. Everyone's so different.
Yeah.
What do you think in terms of?
Well, people can't ask me because I'll just be like, I just pretended to be a Disney princess every day of my life as a child, walking around my living room singing the songs. So, no, I think that
Yeah.
there is something, you know, that attracts to the emoting and telling the story and like bringing up the feelings and all of that. And I know that's a big part of it. And for, I would say, a majority of actors that I know have a lot of trauma to take from, you know, and use, and myself as well. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's so I heard this question posed to these big spiritual teachers recently. They're like, what is it in me that wants to do this thing with acting or with any sort of performance? What is that need to be witnessed in that way? And they basically said that and this is a little bit spiritual woo-woo, but their basic understanding was that where we come from, whatever that source energy is so loving, and there's so much praise, and you're so witnessed and seen and loved and held, and for every single part of you, that then we come and take these human bodies and we're like craving that feeling again. And so it's almost an invitation back to source of like, see these parts of me, because a lot of the times in any form of healing, you can't heal it unless you see it, right? So it's that kind of, even through humor, like even if it's just like you're getting praise for being funny or beautiful or deep or whatever it is, there's a witnessing that happens that makes people feel connected back to source.
Yeah.
That's a little heavy, but
No.
I always like the heavy.
yeah,
'Cause
Absolutely.
I
And
can't come
I
up with it
think
myself.
some people want to escape being themselves. I know
Big
for
time.
me, I love to like transform. And as soon as I finish a job, I'm like, I don't want my hair to look like my character, or, you know,
yeah,
I always want to have that separation. But for other people, they like playing roles that are similar to them, that can show a little bit of themselves in different characters. So I think it's different for everyone, for sure.
So then why does it make the guy self-indulgent? That's the question. I'm just asking for a friend.
Friend. I think there's this weird competitive element, I guess, as well, where we're all, you know, off camera in a tent and wherever we are. And it's kind of like, this is who I want to present to the world. This is the version that I want to share. I think there's a bit of that going on. I'm just like, I've got like 2 brain cells to do the scene. I'm just going to focus on that. Like,
Yeah.
But, you know, of course, there's moments where people are genuine and share things that you're like, wow, thank you so much for sharing that, for sure. But
I'm just
in my
so
experience.
surprised at your experience is like so much of that sharing. Because I'm like, you know, people are just sitting around or they're listening to music or they're studying, you know, like
Yeah.
maybe they're
the
hanging
snacks.
out. I guess, you know what? I have a really probably bad habit of like not taking anything too seriously. So I'm always just like messing around.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're probably
Me too.
not doing that to you
Because they're
because
like,
you're not open for it. You're not like, you
that's
know,
interesting.
whereas
See,
I'm open for it.
Yeah, I like not even on set or anything. Like I'll literally ask someone next to me on an airplane, like, "Oh, how do I turn on the screen?" And it will turn into a full-on conversation where I'll pretend to sleep to get out of it. And maybe I just have that energy of like, yeah,
you
tell me
do.
everything.
You
Yeah,
do.
maybe it's that.
So does
What's your
she.
birthday?
July 18th.
Is that a Cancer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, there was a reaction to that. Do you hate astrology?
No, I'm just a typical Cancer.
Oh,
I'm just,
okay.
That was
What
the
about
laugh.
you guys?
Virgo.
Libra.
Virgo? Ah, okay. I don't know too much about these two.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I also
Wait.
question it because my mom was a scheduled C-section. Sorry, just a side
Yeah.
note. And they
Yeah.
picked my great-grandfather's birthday. So I wonder, because August 25th, am I really a Virgo?
You are
Okay.
100%.
There
She
you
has
are.
Like-
decided.
100%
I fit it completely.
Virgo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would not have been early otherwise.
You're a living, breathing Virgo.
Okay.
Virgos are
Yeah.
like very hardworking, right? Perfectionists.
I'm not a perfectionist.
No, you're not.
But there's
Oh.
there's a method.
I perfect my grocery cart when I'm shopping. Like everything has to fit perfectly. I can't just throw shit in.
Yeah.
And there's a system in everything she does.
Ah.
Huh, interesting.
So it might not make sense to us, or it might not be like you're a perfectionist, but trust there's a system.
I will agree with
Right.
that.
Yeah.
There's a system
Yeah.
to my clothing piles.
There's a system to all of it.
Yeah.
It's systematic.
Oh. There we go.
Well, you're
And what about
learning.
Libra? Libra is
We're supposedly the scales, so we're just kind of balancing, and I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea.
She does balance everyone, and everyone goes to her for everything, advice on
Really?
everything. Yeah.
you're that
Wow.
friend.
Yeah, except this morning when she disagreed with me
That's
because of the fucking
Let's
balance.
talk about that.
Let's go into
No,
this, please.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. She's never allowed to disagree on things that I know I'm right on.
What are
Okay.
your thoughts on integrity? No.
Number one.
So yeah. So what are your thoughts on friendships? Like, let's say, let me give you a for instance. I'm not going to give you the actual fight, but I'm going to give you like a rough cut, right?
Okay.
So say a friend of yours tells you a story and goes, and this person did X, Y, and Z, and you sit with it for a minute, and inside you're like, well, I kind of understand where that person was coming from in
Not
that
okay.
situation.
It's not okay.
And well, because my commitment is to always be honest. So you know you're gonna
Yeah, it's
get
bullshit.
the
Is what it is.
So do you swallow that feeling and just placate them and be like, yeah, totally, he sucks? Or
Well, she's a people pleaser. She's already
or
told
do
us.
you say maybe there's another way of seeing it? How do you deal with a situation like this?
Oh, I've been in this situation so many times. And you're right, Rachel. I am a people pleaser and I will go, yeah, no, stuff that. And then I'll eventually go, okay, devil's advocate, what if this maybe. So I'll end up there, but
Mhm.
immediately I'm like, I've got your back, girl. I've got your back. Okay, hold on. Let's just think about this.
Right.
I'll make my way. Yeah. So
You'll say it
I'm
in a
somewhere in-
certain way
Yeah.
that just comes across
Yeah.
a little more gentle.
I wish I was more truthful and honest, that I can just be like, this is how it is. But I'm always like wary of how my friend feels, depending on what it is, right? Like if it's like
I should have
really
talked to
touchy.
you this morning.
No, but I feel like if I'm looking at it at big picture, right?
Okay.
I
Okay.
can either put a Band-Aid on you or I can help
Mm,
it heal naturally, right? And so if you
Yeah.
look at it big picture and you go, okay, I can tell this person what they want to hear and they're going to feel better right now. Globally,
This is true.
the problem's going to persist. And so
Yeah.
I'm going to have to keep hearing it, right? And putting that Band-Aid back on. And at a
Mhm.
certain point, you're hindering the person.
I've
So
also,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm like,
I've
if I
been-
really care what she feels, then I'm going to do the thing that's uncomfortable for me now.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been in a situation where I've been truthful, like, with my bestest mates, and then they go and do the opposite, and you're like, oh my God, that was really bad. Like, for instance, like going back to an ex, it's like really toxic. And
Yes.
yeah, we have like a 2-hour bitch about it, and we're like, yeah, you tell him, get your stuff and get out. And then they go have the conversation and she's like, oh yeah, I'm back there. And we're like, oh gosh, now I have to see him and I've said all this bad stuff. But
But you still see him and you support it?
I've come to the point where you can say whatever with your friends and your loved ones. They're going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day, and I'll be there to be there for them, because so many times where you've invested so much time and like, yeah, come to mine and let's break this down and let's figure out a way. And then there's times where they do the opposite and don't take your advice. And you're like, oh, what was that for? I feel kind of silly or like used or, down about this. So I've kind of taken a step back being like, I'll sit and listen with you, do what you want. And if now's not the time for you to leave, say it's the situation, I'll just literally be here to catch you whenever that time is, whenever you're ready, which is always really hard. But yeah, it's so hard when you invest so much and then you just watch it happen. And,
it was, another conversation we had this morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we have a friend where we both are like, have a very hard time with the person she went back to.
Yeah.
And how do you support her when you don't support that?
No, it's so hard.
It's so hard.
Well, I
It's
think
the
of Mel
worst.
Robbins and her Let Them. We're going to talk to her, but she has that book, Let Them. Have you heard of this?
No, I haven't.
Oh, so
Let
it's
Them.
all about, it's called like the Let Them theory. So whatever it is that someone's doing, let them do it, no matter what it is.
Yep.
And I think that
This gives me such free reign.
I think that that's the difference, though, between giving advice and being honest. So those are two different things.
Yeah, totally.
Right? You can be honest without
Yeah.
saying, I think you should do this.
Yeah. And that can be so hard to hear in the moment.
Yeah.
So I think being like, how I feel about this, but you're going to do what you're going to do at the end of the day. But I'm always like an open door, like, yeah, because it's so heartbreaking when you watch them go back in that cycle.
Yeah.
So yeah, let them.
Let them.
I have
Even though it's-
such a hard time though. Like she's so much better at it and with it. Like I got into a fight with our best friend because of it, and we never fought. We've gotten into one fight in all 30 years of best friendship where she hated this guy I dated. He took my childhood Grover stuffy hostage until I talked to him. He took me and put me in the car, and she's like, if you get back with him, and we like yelled at each other. Anyways, that was our first and only fight, and then now she's back with this guy that we are not a fan of, and we got into our second fight.
That's the only fights you guys have ever been in?
Yeah.
And
we lived together for 6 years too.
Wow.
I know.
That same guy that Rachel dated blackmailed me. Okay. And said,
I know how to pick them.
He said, Grover is a prisoner of war. And if you don't get Rachel to call me within 24 hours, I'm telling your ex-boyfriend you're dating X now.
We were 19, mind you.
I don't care.
Okay.
She's like, we were 40.
I'm picturing.
He took Grover and literally ransom called me. He said, Grover is a prisoner of war. And then she didn't call him in 24 hours. He went to my ex-boyfriend and was like, just so you know, Olivia's doing X, Y, and Z, da, 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 da.
He actually
made good-
did?
Yes. Yeah. He made good on his threat.
Wow.
Okay,
I
did your
mean-
boyfriend believe this or?
Yeah. No, it caused a gargantuous fight.
Gosh.
Gotta
Was this
give it
the
to
actor?
the person. I mean,
No.
I know, right?
No, it wasn't
had
the
to have been an actor. No, it actually wasn't, ironically. Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, but then, I made good with her because many years later, there was another bet. And if I did something, she got a free puppy. And I did do the thing, and she did get the puppy, which she gave away. Another story.
Okay.
But she did.
This is a roller coaster of emotion.
Yes. Sorry. There's so
Aren't
much.
you glad you're here?
I know. Aren't you glad you're here? Welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
What I will say, what I love that, I hate that you guys had an argument, but it just shows how much you care about your girls and like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
it's
just want
coming
the
from a
best for
place.
them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I have that with my girls all the time. It's so funny when you get frustrated with each other. It's like, this is all like rooted in like so much love,
Yeah.
So that's so cool. And it's so cool that you've been friends for so long.
Yes.
I know.
It's very
Longer
long.
than you've been alive.
Well, I'm 31, so I was one.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
You were a baby.
I don't
Baby.
think so.
What do you mean?
Was she?
Oh.
Well, not when we first met.
Oh.
I
Maybe.
can't do math.
I don't. Yeah, no one said math was required here.
No.
And no, let's not do math.
Yeah.
So like, if anything happens in your life, good, bad, like sticky situation, do you call each other immediately, or is it like you
100%.
call?
I don't make any decisions. I'm not allowed to make any decisions until I run them by her.
I didn't set that rule. That's
Well, the one time, I will tell you, the one time she was not available and I listened to our other best friend, it was not the right decision. I learned my lesson.
That's because all I'm trying to do is get her to trust her intuition. I'm not.
Right.
I don't tell you what to do.
My intuition is all sorts of fucked up.
It's not.
It's like,
It's not, because every time you trust it, you're right.
I know. I'm
yeah.
pretty much joking. But yeah,
Yeah.
we do
You
rely
gotta-
on each other a lot, for sure.
I was
love
in
it.
a little thing with these, like I was explaining something to my kids, friends, moms, and
Mhm.
I was like, yeah. And I told my friend Rachel, and and every day I'm like, and I told Rachel, and I remember someone being like, do you tell her every thought? And I was like, she knows every thought in a day.
Everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
I'm like, and then,
And then Rachel said, and then
Yeah.
Olivia said.
yeah.
It's just
I love that.
when we leave each other and then we just talk on the car ride home too.
Do you have
Not
that?
codependent.
Absolutely. Like, we're all in different cities, so we have to figure out the time zones all
Yeah.
the time. So one's in LA, one's in Melbourne, another's in New Zealand. So sometimes I miss out because I'm the furthest away. But yeah, literally, like, a guy will be leaving my house and I'm like, 1, 2, it's definitely
Yeah.
gone. FaceTime girls, like,
Aw.
it's so
That's so
codependent.
sweet. Yeah.
Or even like, last week was like full of emotions for me because I was like so happy about the show coming out, but also like I read one bad comment and I'm like, oh my God, I am terrible. Oh my God, I am a bad person. Because when people think you're the character,
Yeah, I know.
message you like, hey, and character, and I'll call my friends crying and they're like, don't be silly, this is part of the job, unfortunately, and just they whack all the wisdom back into you and also make you laugh when you're in those states.
Most
So,
Yeah.
important thing.
ugh,
But the thing is that I think it's experiential. Like, it's really
Mm.
easy to say until it's done to you. And then I had that with doing the show. I started to read
Oh,
comments,
yeah.
and then I would tell my friend, I would
Me?
obviously tell Rachel, but then our other friend Leah, and she would be like, they're losers. She'd be like, they're losers.
I love that.
She would just be
Yeah.
like, no, 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 no. And I'm like, I get what you're saying, but however, when you
This
read
is-
things about yourself, it hurts or it doesn't feel good, and you're being exposed on such a large level.
Mm.
I know, it's crazy. And
How?
no one can prepare you for this. And, people give you advice and you take it in, but, until it happens to you, you're like, wow, this is something else. And I know the next week another show's out and that's the new thing and people are looking that way. But yeah, no, it's just that one comment and, there's so many lovely comments, but you're almost looking for it.
Yeah.
You're almost like, where's the troll? And then when you read it, you're like, oh, this is so awful.
Yeah.
I
And it's
hate
the
this.
one that you hold on to. It's like
Yeah.
the one that sticks with you, not all the
Yeah.
million positive. What's the thing? How many
Yeah.
positives to
10 positive thoughts to counteract one negative.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, for sure. And I watched an interview with Chapel Rowan recently, who I love.
Love.
And she's just like, I just look at it like they're a bot. That's not a real person. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to practice. That's just a bot. That's
It's a
not a
good
real
way.
person.
It's a good way to look at it for sure.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But another thing too, I was just listening to this interview this morning, and I don't remember her name, but she's a researcher at Harvard, and she was saying, once you realize you can't win, that no matter what the quality is, let's say people love you because you're trustworthy or trusting. And they go, what a beautiful quality. She's so trusting. She goes, that's the same quality someone's going to hate you for being gullible. So every single quality that you possess, there's a
Yeah.
lover and a hater on both sides of it. And
Absolutely.
it is about getting to that place, right, where you're like, oh, I have zero control of other people's perception.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was saying to my friend, like, okay, I'm just going to get tough skin. This is like the first round of this because fortunate and unfortunate that my show was seen by so many people, but that's like the first US show I've done, So there wasn't like a warm up round of like, this is the exposure and this is kind of the reaction that you're going to get. So it's all been learning. And yeah, I can't imagine what it was like for you, Rachel, back in the day. Maybe less so because of the internet.
Yeah, there was like social media didn't exist. It was definitely like height of the paparazzi era, which was a different thing. They're just trying to catch you getting out of cars without your underwear on. But like, which did happen, not to me. I always had underwear
Full disclosure.
Not
but
me.
Like,
No, I'm just...
But yeah, it was definitely a different thing, because
Gotcha.
there were comments like there was like an OC messenger board that like Josh Schwartz would always like he would read and of course like hang on to the neck or whatever. But it just wasn't as much of a thing. So I can't imagine like for you, in this day and age with like all of it, just immediate reaction and people have such a platform to comment. Which it's a new thing.
It's a new thing.
Yeah.
And yeah. I and also that you had like tabloids, right? So
my God,
the most horrible like headlines to sell a magazine. Which is
I mean, lucky
disgusting.
for me, I was pretty like domesticated at the time, so like I wasn't, the one falling out of clubs or whatever it was.
Oh gosh.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
We did that when we were like 15 when you shouldn't have been doing
Yeah.
that.
But it's also an epidemic of mental illness. And a lot of times when people are writing those comments or coming at you for things they hate about you or don't like your character or whatever, they're getting dopamine hits from doing that and getting engagement and stuff. And it just points more to how sick our society is and how it's a low-hanging fruit to get some sort of validation, attention, dopamine. Like it's really bigger than just someone being an asshole.
Absolutely, yeah. They get a kick out of it. It's that dopamine hit from getting a like where someone agreed with them or some sort of validation.
Have you had any kind of crazy fan encounter?
No. Not yet.
She's like, I want one.
Yeah, she's like, I'm manifesting
please. I mean, I did have it wasn't about the show. I had a crazy stalker neighbor, but he's gone now, so that's fine. But
wait, like what?
Well, okay, so in the US, you have those crazy AC units that you put out the window, like
right,
it's right in the corner there, but. The place that I'm renting, they take it out during the winter and then put it back in the summer. And the handyman guy who came over, I'm doing this because he couldn't do it.
Okay.
He was like, "Can you help me?" And I was like, "Are you joking? That thing weighs so much. Like,
no.
And also, I'm paying you to do this. Like, anyways, we had to get some help. So I went and knocked on the door next door. And asked my neighbor, help us. And I don't know what happened in that exchange, but he thought I was interested in him.
Oh.
I thought he was gay. I don't know. My gaydar is completely off. So I was super friendly, like, oh, thank you so much for helping. Oh my gosh. And I offered him a bottle of wine because, I don't know, back home, if your neighbor helps you, you get them a box of beers and you're like, thanks for helping, know. See ya. And then he accepted the wine, and then I bump into him in the hallway, and he was like, I said my name was Lucy because I'm just like, I don't want to we don't need to get into that. Like, Lucy, thank you so much for the bottle of wine. It was amazing. And I was like, oh, great, you finished it. Oh, thank you again for helping. And he really read into it. And he was like, actually, like, come into my apartment. And so, of course, I'm a people pleaser. I went into the apartment.
Do not do it.
Oh. I know, I'm such an idiot. And he was like, I don't believe in things just like happening. I believe everything happens for a reason. And you left the price tag on the bottle of wine. And I was like, okay. Whoops, my bad. I just bought the bottle of wine and put it in the fridge. It wasn't like, anyways. And he was like, yeah, do you know how much it was? And I was like, oh, no. And he said, oh, it was $30.99. And so crazy. I'm turning 31 next month.
Oh,
I'm dead.
I know. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my
no, but what do I say, guys?
What
I
did
said,
you
me
say?
too, because I was turning 31 next month.
No, you didn't. Me too,
I
Em.
know.
No.
Maybe it wasn't a stalker. Maybe it was like a consensual. Anyways, and
Sure, maybe it was.
Oh
I was
my
the stalker.
God. Oh my God. Stop
and
it.
then I said like bye, like nice to meet. Thanks.
It's
We chatted.
11:31 right now.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I swear.
Oh my gosh.
Is it
31. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God. And he's
guys.
going to listen to this.
Oh shit.
Anyway, and then it got to a
shit.
point. So then I was like obviously dating someone else.
Yeah.
And he was at my house. This is terrible. We were watching the Donald Trump and Joe Biden debate on our date because he wanted to.
Mhm.
And I was like, this is depressing. Okay. And next minute, I don't know how that made us, get it on, but we were getting on. And
If anything turns me on.
To debate.
it's those two grandpas.
Yeah.
And I have like this big projector. So it's like, anyways. And the doorbell rings like 3 times and it's like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, who the hell? No. And the guy was like, you should get that. And I was like, maybe it's like Amazon. I don't know. They don't ring the doorbell. It's weird. And I open the door and it's the bottle of wine.
No.
It's the bottle.
Stop
empty,
it. Stop it.
I don't feel
Filled,
good.
filled with roses.
I have chills.
Sorry, I just screamed. Sorry, everybody.
No, I'm grossed
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah.
Stop
But
it.
like not all the roses could fit into the small, Yeah, so it was like
There were 31 roses.
There were, probably. I didn't count.
She didn't count. She didn't count. She missed the opportunity, Rachel. There were 31. I know it.
And then I like bend down. I'm like, what the hell? And then he like pops out of nowhere.
No.
Oh my God, I can't. I am like there with you right now. I am sweating.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
he was like squatting next to them, and he was like kind of in
Not
this weird
Squat. Not a squat.
Yeah,
No,
and he's just
never.
like he was like trying to be, I don't know, cool or something.
I'm dying.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like grab the flowers, like cover, like because I was wearing like a little sexy top, and I was like, not for you. And he was like, yeah, I'd like to take you out sometime. Like he was talking different, and he was saying, let's go see a Broadway play. Like have I ever been to a Broadway play? And I was like, yeah, one. And he's like, that's my favorite. And I'm like,
Oh,
are you
no.
sure? Is he just saying that?
Oh no.
And then he was like, come back to my apartment. And I was like, I actually have someone over. Like, I'm so sorry. Anyways, I looked really like cool walking back with flowers from another man.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Back.
That worked
Yeah.
in your favor.
But then from that point on, I got, poems,
Oh.
left at my door and
Oh
all this.
no.
Yeah. But he's gone now, so it's fine. But
He's gone now.
yeah.
Thank
You
God.
know he's gone.
Yeah. Sorry, that went such a
No, we
Are
love
you
your
kidding
stories.
me?
He's everything the same guy.
What's that mean?
Like, that's my favorite play.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Everything the same.
Everything
guy.
the same
Yeah.
guy. I just made
Yeah.
that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a thing.
No, I just made
It sounds
up.
like a Friends episode.
Or a Sex in the City person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Charlotte was with everything but the same guy.
Everything
the same guy.
Everything the same.
Right?
Everything but the same.
No. The opposite.
But wait, no. We need to circle back to the most important part of this story, which is the squat. Like, I would like this to be a PSA.
Never
Is there
squat.
ever an appropriate time
Time
for
to
a man to squat and do anything other than at the gym doing like a squat?
Scott. Yeah.
I'm
How do you
dead.
feel about the squat?
Oh gosh. And he's like looking up at me and I'm like looking down and I'm like, this is too much. Like yeah.
Oh my God. Were you
We
ever
yeah,
attracted to him? Like, Was for a second? No, it was
No.
not ever. I don't know. I
No.
haven't seen the squat.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
No, there's a guy. There's actually a guy. You showed me a guy that our friend was dating, and in his picture, he was doing some sort of
Who?
squat.
What?
And I showed it to Jeff, and he would reenact
Jeff's
it.
her husband.
He would reenact it just to make me uncomfortable.
Who squat?
He was like
Squatted.
squatting, pointing at something. Like, it's
Oh no!
Oh my God,
We're gonna
we're
give guys
yeah.
a complex now. They're
They
like,
should have
"Don't
it."
give a squat.
They should. They should not squat.
not the squat.
Stop it. I know. It's all because I said me too. I'm 31 next month as well.
Oh my God. Because
And the
you're a
AC,
nice
the stupid
person.
AC.
That
Oh,
is,
man.
yeah, it's really the handyman's fault.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, but
Next
what?
time.
Really quickly, he left. But did he leave because he had to leave? Like there was a thing, or he just happened to?
I can't remember. There was something going on in
Okay.
their apartment. I think there was too many people. You know how New York,
Yeah.
Got it.
loft apartments, and
Got it.
yeah, he left abruptly, and he said his one regret was never taking me to a Broadway play. And luckily, my cleaner was over, and she was kind of standing around. I was like, yeah, okay, bye.
Wow.
Best.
That's
Yeah.
so
Okay.
awkward next door.
I know.
Not the neighbor.
No.
I know. He wasn't squatting when he said goodbye, so
That's
that's
good. That is
In my
good.
mind, he was.
Yeah. He is forever.
I
a
wish I would have
squatting
taken you to that Broadway play.
guy. In full squat.
oh.
Oh my God. Wow. Well, I mean, we're not going to top that story.
No.
Number one.
Ever.
That's incredible. All of it. All 31 of it. It was just so incredible. You are so awesome and such a cool person and so beautiful inside and out. And I'm so happy for you and your show and your career and everything that's coming. It's just amazing. But thank you for talking with us today and being so
Yeah.
open and sharing all of it.
Thank you guys for having me. This was so fun. It just felt like the girls chatting.
Yeah, that's the
That's
the
what
goal.
we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
love
for
it.
sure. But yes,
Yay.
yeah.
And do you want to say anything about anything coming up? Because I know you have, obviously.
Oh. I mean, yeah, our show's out on Netflix now. If you want to watch The Night Agent, there's 2 seasons. Also, I have another show coming out, I don't know when, Chief of War on Apple TV, which is super exciting.
With Jason Momoa, right?
Yeah.
So
just a
cool.
small
that
little
guy.
indie
I don't
actor,
think
yeah.
I don't think he squats.
He might.
No.
No, like
You don't think he might?
did he squat? I mean, did you notice a
He
squat?
could, but what I'm saying is, if anyone could,
he
it's
would be
Jason
the forgiven
Momoa.
one. You'd be
Yeah.
like, you have a pass. You can squat.
Although he's like 6'4" and I'm like 5'2", so
I'm 5'2".
sometimes girl,
I get
they're
it.
the same.
That's why the guys think they need to squat.
Yes. So sometimes he would kind of like be a
Kneel.
bit low
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
frame.
That's
but
different. That's considerate.
yeah.
That's a
It was
considerate
for
person.
work purposes. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not for game purposes.
Amazing.
He can do that.
Yeah, he can.
We've
Yeah.
given Momoa the permission to squat. You're welcome.
Yeah.
The only one.
But yeah, I think that's it. That's all the stuff that I can talk about for sure.
That's it. That's all you
That's
have going
it.
on.
I
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's been
Aw.
amazing. You're an absolute
Yeah.
delight.
Yes. Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you guys. This was so fun.
So fun.
Good. So happy
You
to
guys
hear
are
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Mwah.
You too. Bye.
Here we are.
Here we are. We just spoke with Luciane. It was great.
It was so good.
It was so good. We do want to address a few things.
Okay.
I think people notice Rob is not here.
He's here, not so much here.
Not so much here. We do have Kevin here.
Hi,
Introduce yourself, Kev.
I'm Kevin Bartelt. I'm the producer of the show now. You both joined Headgum. I recorded you both on We're Here to Help. It was like one of my all-time favorite episodes.
Woo!
Aw.
Olivia did something so insane that anytime someone's like, what's a good podcast? I talk about a caller who wanted to find out if their dentist was single or not. We pitched back and forth for like 20 minutes, and eventually Olivia just went, what's the phone number? And she called and asked in a really clever way. And
To
I
find
sat
out.
there and was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So very excited to be working with you both. We got a fun little team we're putting together. So
Yes.
good times coming up.
We are so happy to
Me too.
have you, Kevin. And yeah, that was a mic drop moment when Olivia pulled that on We're Here to Help. I mean, that was really next level.
I feel like that was a glimpse into how we spent our 20s. Like, for real.
Like
I think
prank
it was
calls
Yeah.
and
yeah, like we wanted to know what a guy was up to and we knew where he worked.
Mhm.
Like we're going to figure out if he's at work and I'm going to figure out what kind of voice to make to make sure. It
yeah,
never
we would
gets-
call like
Yeah.
the Hamburger Hamlet.
We'd call the Hamlet. We'd call, what was that place you were a hostess for like one day?
Sicily?
Sicily.
It wasn't one day. It was the
Yeah.
only job I've ever had in my life, Kevin, before acting and whatnot. I
Yeah.
was a hostess.
Cool.
It's
Yeah.
how I learned north, south, east, and west because I always had to say, we are on the southwest corner of Ventura Boulevard. So now I'm so good with direction thanks to Sicily.
Ooh, I have a fun game.
Yeah.
Great.
So I've been studying my son's social studies homework.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
Oh gosh.
I'm just curious. Do you know do you know the definition of the equator?
The definition.
Yeah, like what's the equator?
The center line of the Earth. Like, I don't know. I just think about it like it's wrapped around the Earth and it's the hottest spot of the globe, but I could be wrong and I'm panicking. And
I mean, that's
everyone's
definitely what the
unsubscribing.
equator definitely is that, but doesn't it,
What is it?
doesn't it like determine longitude and latitude?
No.
What is it?
It's the invisible line that separates the
Northern hemisphere from the southern hemisphere.
Yes.
Okay, Briar
Okay.
just learned this too, and I'm
Okay.
like, it's gonna come back, but she was doing longitude and latitude at the same time.
What's the prime meridian?
Oh, that is
Oh
the
my
one
gosh.
that goes in the center from up to down.
Which is
The prime meridian.
it divides the east and the western
Hemisphere.
hemisphere.
Oh.
See, we're relearning all this stuff because you don't
I would
remember.
never know this, Kevin.
You
Hold
guys,
on.
if you ever invite me to trivia, I will magically get sick right before.
Okay. Do you like that? That's what we
So we will
start
not.
with?
You
Yeah,
will not
yeah,
be
yeah.
our go-to
That's our
with
opening.
trivia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that noted. But yeah, but Elliot's in 3rd grade, Briar's in 4th grade, and they're learning the same thing.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. Huh.
Hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
Do you know what the capital is?
capital of what?
Like, what is the definition of a capital?
Go ahead.
The capital. What's the capital
The capital of a state.
Yeah.
It's where the government is of the state.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's right.
Rachel's 3 for 3.
Ding, 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 ding.
I really love Jeopardy. It's
you?
actually I will sit alone and watch Jeopardy and answer all the questions.
Wow.
I suck at
The
this
answers.
Me
so
too.
Give the
hard,
answers.
But because I'm studying it, I'm like,
That's
oh,
true.
She has some knowledge to drop today, so she's like,
You
let
have
me
like
just...
personal Jeopardy every day.
yeah, it's called homework. But the craziest part is my husband knows the answers.
Really?
Just like from memory?
Yes.
I would never
I'm like,
remember
what's
this.
I'm
the
so
prime
bad at this.
meridian? And he's
He
like,
just
it's
knows.
the invisible line that
Yeah.
separates the. I'm like, that's
No.
weird.
See, I
And
didn't
we
even
shouldn't be
remember.
dating.
Hold on. I didn't even remember from a month ago when I learned it, but as you said it, it came back to me. But like even a month, it's just gone.
How many continents are there?
7.
7.
Nice,
That-
nice,
yeah.
nice.
Good job, Kevin. You're
Yeah.
back in the game.
And I'm going to edit it so it sounds like Rachel said it first.
How many bodies of water
Nope,
are the
I'm
oceans?
out.
I think we have to go.
All right, take over.
12?
5.
Oh. I just
5
came up
largest
with a
bodies
number.
of water.
Do you guys do trivia?
I
You would
am
kill right
yeah.
now because of
I am
how
a
much.
trivia like love.
Really?
Yes. There used to be a restaurant that would just have Trivial Pursuit cards out on the table, and I would only go to that restaurant just
Yeah.
because I knew those were there.
Wow.
I know.
I did it for the first time in years a couple weeks ago, and it's all like app based now. Like you had to download an app,
Oh, no.
and it kind of took the fun out of like going up and down, or like back and forth, and dropping stuff off. And yeah, it's all 2025 now. With the, it's like,
Oof.
I don't like that.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like it either.
I have an old-fashioned brain. I feel like I should bring some trivia cards in.
I would.
I would fail
Me
miserably.
too.
It doesn't matter.
I could do maybe like a little pop culture. Like I know who a couple people are,
Mhm.
you know.
So the entertainment category you could
maybe
do.
I would be okay.
That was the fun part of it. Was like
Yeah.
the first 10 minutes of the first like 2 rounds were all pop culture stuff. they would play like snippets of songs, and I was like, this is fun. And then it got into like world politics and stuff, and
You're like,
Kevin got very quiet during the second half of the trivia.
Actually,
yeah.
I could probably do good with that part right now, but
Sure.
that's
I
only
couldn't.
from watching Bill Maher.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm learning all my information.
As you should, or the Daily
I think
Show.
he's like I watched the Daily Show, Bill Maher, but I feel like he is really helpful in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
When I did Bill Maher's show.
Yeah, I saw it.
Love him.
It looked like it.
Oh, and we're dating now.
Honestly, watch it,
Yeah.
and you're like, "What's going?"
There was a
There's a
vibe.
vibe.
Was there a
You guys
vibe?
were throwing fucking energy to it.
Stop it!
I swear
Stop
on
it right
my
now.
life. And so I went to the comments,
Sure.
as one does.
Yep.
Especially if you're not in it,
Yeah.
you can freely do that.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, is it just me or are they feeling each
Uh-huh.
other?
Is
Is
there
he
a vibe?
flirting with? There was. You guys were like on a date.
Stop.
I swear. And I was even thinking like, does she know what she's doing? Or are you like naive to it? I don't know.
You're like, or do you just flirt with every other man that comes in your
Well, I was
presence?
wondering.
I don't do that.
Speaking of naive to, I don't want to say vibe, but Luciane's story of the guy assuming that there's a vibe.
Oh my
between
God,
them,
you're so right.
That was so damn funny.
That was my favorite
Yeah.
part of the interview.
Yeah.
That was epic.
Well,
I know.
if she was acting like Rachel in that situation.
What are you trying to say?
Just kidding.
I do not throw it out there, you guys.
Everyone
that
go
easily.
watch that, Bill Maher, and please tell me what
Report
you think.
back.
Report back.
I really flirt well with older men. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No,
I
there was a
don't.
little energy.
He was very, I enjoyed my time with him, my conversation. I will say that. That sounded weird. I had the conversation.
How much time was it?
The conversation. Yeah, but that was so funny. And just like the squat in the
Mhm.
story.
Yes.
Not the fact that like he was squatting.
When I told my wife the story, that was the hardest she laughed, was specifically
The
the
squatting.
squatting. Yeah. That was wild.
It's a move.
Because that's it. That's
was-
the funny
it
part.
was
Kevin,
so
please
bizarre.
go home today
Yeah.
and just like before
Do
she
it.
enters the room, just squat.
Yeah, and surprise her.
Yes.
Not the surprise squat.
I think every woman
Boo.
needs a surprise squat.
Oh my God, I'm
She
dead.
would just be like, what are you doing?
Oh my God, but it's such a good callback.
Yeah, it is. I think she would be very confused, but I'll try it. I'll report back next episode. Let you know
If you could
how-
just be videoing her
Yeah.
as she walks in the room and you're squatting.
Yeah.
So we get the real reaction.
If you could possibly like pull off a squat selfie, that would be epic.
Are
Because
you-
then you're
It's like
combining
Eminem. What do you
two-
mean?
Eminem can squat.
Eminem can fucking squat.
Like
I
where? Tell us where. he
anywhere
can
in my
squat.
presence on my lap, he can squat.
Yes.
Eminem, you can squat
you.
all over me.
You heard it here first.
She's awake today, people. I like
I
it.
know I've had caffeine.
It's really good.
I've always loved Eminem.
What's not to love?
What's not to love?
Yeah.
Do you feel us on this,
I like Eminem.
Kevin?
Yep, I like Eminem.
If someone doesn't like Eminem, I don't know how I feel about them. I'm just like, wait, what?
Have you seen the thing going around Instagram where he's an interview from a long time ago on 60 Minutes, or he's talking to Anderson Cooper?
Yeah, the slant rhymes, right?
About how orange. He's like, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like you can rhyme orange with that, and he
Yeah.
does it, and he drops it. But like he's so smart,
Yeah.
just like how he goes about.
It's
thinking
really
things.
impressive.
It was a cool interview. I
Do
was
you
like,
know-
Eminem.
Here's a piece of trivia.
Okay.
When I first got sober, I was having a really hard time staying sober, and I was feeling like life was over and everything was going to be boring and I was going to die of boredom. That's how I felt. I was like, I'm trapped into the world of no fun. And so then I realized that Eminem was sober, and I used to write
He's
it.
sober?
Yeah.
Like still? Or
yeah.
you don't know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I used to write it on my hand every day to remind me that if the coolest person ever is sober and thriving, that I could do it too, and I was still cool.
Wow.
Every single day I'd write Eminem on. People would be like, why do? And I'd be like,
You should have tattooed that instead of your basketball tattoo.
that would be amazing to like have no tattoos, but it's just like Eminem.
Eminem.
Just like,
I have it.
you know.
What's the basketball tattoo?
It's
not actually a basketball.
It's not a basketball or a grenade, even though it looks like both
looks like-
combined. It's a sigil. Do you know what a sigil is?
I don't think so, no.
You shouldn't.
Okay,
It's like a old ancient magic tool
cool.
where you put the first 3 letters of something that you want to call in and cultivate,
Ooh.
and you make your own kind of emblem.
Yeah.
And then I was writing it on my wrist, so I tattooed it.
Wow. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I always wanted to get the tattoo on my arm that just said, "Who cares?" But then Melania Trump wore a jacket that said, "Who cares?"
She
And I was
did.
like, man, I'm so glad I didn't.
Oh my God, if you had that.
Yeah.
I know, that was my fear with a tattoo, is that I was going to get something and then someone was.
And then Melania.
Yeah,
was-
exactly. Yeah.
That's actually amazing. Yeah, I have no tattoos.
Same.
Not that I wouldn't, but like at this point in my life, I'm like, do I need one?
I mean,
I hate her foot tattoo. We talk about this.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any, but similar, like, I feel like I almost got one a couple months ago for the first time. I was like, should I get something cool? And I was like, why do I want to get a tattoo?
You should do the Ben Affleck, like
What would
Phoenix
you
on your
do?
back.
I don't know. I want, if it was like some sort of something with my family would be fun, or like a phrase or something. I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on it.
like
If I-
life
Probably,
short,
like,
like
sit-
what kind of
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe like if my wife and I have kids, like my kid's
Yeah.
name or something like that.
That's
but
always a good go-to because
Yeah.
you know you'll always want that.
for sure.
I will say, my husband's dad, Jeff's dad,
Mhm.
got 400 tattoos after his wife passed. But one of them, he got the outline of their home.
Mhm.
Aw.
That to me is amazing.
That's
because
really
his
sweet.
children grew up in that home.
Yep.
Like, I'm like, that I
Has
can get
meaning.
behind.
Yeah.
That's really
it's
cool.
so cool.
Yeah. Unlike the heart on your foot.
She's just jealous.
Not to spoil it, but we have an upcoming guest who has a lot of cool tattoos.
That's
We do.
right.
And,
And he's the coolest.
yeah, I was
Like,
very distracted.
I don't think there's anyone. I mean, we said Eminem, but like,
Eminem, but, you know,
I don't know.
had I known Kurt Sutter was sober, I would have written Kurt Sutter on my hand every day.
Could you imagine if you like put your sleeve up a little and he was like, "Is that my name?"
Yes.
That would have been amazing.
You know what's funny is one night I
When
went
Eminem
out
comes on the podcast, you're just gonna have to you're gonna have to get the tattoo before
on my, we're just
on your eye.
I remember once I like really liked this guy. I had a major crush on
Mhm.
him. And I ran into him out one night, and on his arm
hmm
in Sharpie or black ink, really big, was my phone number.
Whoa.
And I was like, is that? And he's like, yeah, it's your phone number. I was like,
I love you.
I love you. Marry me. Let's have kids.
Okay, so anyone listening,
That was a move.
that was a
Yeah.
move.
Wow.
We really appreciate a move,
yeah.
but like it has to be like a move like that, not like
Not a squat.
Uh-huh. Not a surprise squat.
unless you're Eminem, not a squat. But like it has to be like a move that's like such like what was you have so many stories, but there's one we can't tell. But it's fine. Anyway, not a transparent move.
I
No.
unknowingly, I would say it was like a mini move, but on me and my wife's first date, I had like a jacket that was like, we saw a concert. I would say I did a cool move of, I asked where she lived. She said Highland Park at the time. And
I showed up.
I showed up. I was like, oh, one of my friends is playing a concert Friday night in Highland Park. Do you want to go? And she was like, sure. So we got drinks. I had a jacket. We went and saw the show. It was really warm in the show, so I took the jacket off. And then I think I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know what to do with this jacket. And then kind of was like, do you want it or something? And so she wore it around her waist on our first date. And so there's like
Well, that's
pictures of us,
cute.
and she's like wearing my jacket and stuff. And yeah, it
That's
was
cute.
fun.
And
Did
she's
she
still
keep
to this
it?
day wears the jacket.
I don't know what happened to that jacket. It was a minute ago, but she had it for a while. Yeah. So
That's sweet.
yeah, it was not even like a conscious move. It was just kind of like, oh, what should I do with this jacket? And she was like, in hindsight, was like, that was a move.
That was a move.
Yeah.
Oh.
She tied it around her waist.
Yeah.
You were
It
like,
made you
what should
feel
I do
close.
with this? Like you gave it to her.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But the fact that she tied it around her waist is really cute. Like
Yeah.
that was her move. That was
Super
like
cute. That was
I'm
her
a
move,
wifey.
Kevin.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry,
No,
Kevin.
no.
I'm taking that from you.
Yeah. There
That
was
was more
a lot
her
of things
move.
that I think are my moves that she's like, that was me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it because
The Jedi mind tricks.
Yeah.
it is.
yeah.
Women are really
To make
good
me
at that.
think that it
Yeah.
was my move.
Exactly.
Yeah. How do you think we get you guys?
Yeah.
We
We
trick
manipulate.
you. It's true.
I know.
But human picture is just a bunch of manipulation,
Mhm.
isn't it?
Sure.
Yes. Yep.
It is.
Right.
Whether you're doing it on purpose or on accident, it's a manipulation.
hmm
That's all life is. Wow.
So many of my parents' moves with each other are that, where it's like, let's let dad think that this was his idea, or
Yeah,
mom
that's
needs
classic.
to be the one to say this before we can do that.
Classic.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Classic move. It is fascinating.
I've been getting really into watching this woman who's a body language expert.
Ooh, I like that.
It's so good.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this, right?
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
you know what this means?
What does that mean?
That's a power move.
That's a big dick.
That is.
You got the fingertips touching.
Yeah, but you can't do this.
Triangle pose.
You can't
No.
do this because then you're Dr. Evil,
Yeah.
right?
But that's
But this is like, I'm really thinking about it. I'm considering it.
Uh huh.
She also talked about how we always have to see someone's hands. So like when you enter a room,
Interesting.
hi, because the signals that go off in our brain, if you can't see someone's hands,
Yeah.
signals threat,
Wow.
right? And so when we do this, we're saying, I don't have a weapon.
like put your hands up.
Literally. It goes back to caveman days of
Right.
being like, I'm unarmed, like you're
Wow.
That's so interesting.
interesting.
safe. And she said, not even just showing your hands, but open palms. Like let people
I
see
haven't
your
moved
palms.
from this position, by the way.
Because you're a powerhouse.
I'm not exaggerating. I do the opposite sometimes, where I will put my hands behind my back and kind of like link.
Yeah.
And I think it might be a similar, like, to try to show like it's like almost showing my whole body, to be like, I don't even know. But sometimes you'll probably see it, like when I'm standing, sometimes I'll just put my hands behind my back. But it probably, now in hindsight, people are like, what is he hiding from us?
Yeah. What are
but
you hiding?
I don't, yeah.
I love that you
device.
just pulled out like, you know, a burrito.
A burrito.
I wish.
Oh my God, that would make my day.
That
Like,
would make
I-
that would be
Surprise
a game
burrito.
changer.
A squat
A surprise burrito squat.
We should do that with
burrito.
our guests. Just
Cute.
be like, here's a burrito if you need it.
I thought you were just gonna like pull out things you're hiding from behind your back.
No, I love giving people a burrito as they leave. Just like
That's
know
really
you're
fun.
probably hungry.
Yeah,
You know
And
that's a move.
That's a
that's
That's
a move.
that's a move.
You guys, we have solved everything
And,
today.
like, depending on the time, like if it's early, they get
Like,
a
no.
breakfast burrito.
yeah.
Oh.
I love that.
Wait, I think we need to work this into everything.
I really like it.
When we have in-person guests,
Yep.
just be like,
You
by
here's
the
your
way,
burrito.
here's your burrito.
That's
See what they say.
Yes.
Oh my God, no.
Wow, let's do
I
it.
mean, we're gonna get proposed to.
we should get a
It's
little
gonna get
sticker that
uncomfortable.
says
It's
broad
gonna get
ideas
really weird.
too. If we could put a little broad ideas,
Broad burritos.
Broad burritos.
Yes, I'm trying to think of something burrito ideas, but yeah, broad burritos.
We're like,
we got it.
It's
yeah,
a work,
we're like,
we're
here's
workshopping
the
it.
parking situation. So, by chance, like, do you like cheese? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah, work
Just
it
throw
in.
it in there.
Yeah.
Do you eat onions?
yeah.
But
Tater
this is
tots
the
in
kind
the
of
burrito or out of the burrito.
the guerrilla marketing we need, where like the amount of people who would leave and go, they gave me a burrito.
True.
We would have 1 million people who would want to do this show.
Anyone who
every
wants to
single week.
write in to our Instagram handle, TikTok, whatever, and
Yep.
say, can you write in on TikTok?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can comment.
I think so.
You can comment. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us know.
About the burrito.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
I'm very excited.
Or
What
if
if
We're
everyone
very
hates it?
excited. Everyone hates it.
But
Who's gonna hate a
I know.
burrito?
That's
Like
more
a
telling
free
about you.
burrito?
Yeah, that's more
Right.
telling about you.
We are the broad
Exactly.
burritos.
You gotta check yourself in the mirror.
The
if that's
broad
what,
burritos.
The broad burritos.
I
Okay,
like
this is
it.
amazing. We're just doing a cute little short one today. We wanted to
Yeah,
introduce
and-
Kevin. We also want to say, Rob, we're still friends, everything. He's
Yeah,
going
he
to come
rules.
by like when he can. He's very busy.
Very busy.
Very busy, but he definitely will come by at some point. But we want to just everyone to know we still
Yeah.
love Rob. He still loves us. We're still friends. But we have our Kevin, and everything's
Yay.
great.
Rob and I swapped shows.
You
He's
did.
working on We're Here to Help, and I'm working on Broad Ideas.
That's right. That's right.
Good things for
It's
2025.
Clearly, you got the better deal.
Big upgrade.
Obviously. But thanks everyone. And we're so happy. And we are so happy to introduce Kevin here and everything else. So
And
what?
we will not be slacking off on the posts because I know
No, we're
that,
back.
I know.
There
but
was
it
there
matters
was
a
some
lot.
times that happened and things
Yeah.
happened and transitions happened also
Mhm.
at the same time with the other craziness. So
Like
But we're
social
back.
media posts?
Well, no, like
No,
the
like our-
post part at
this.
the end of the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because people are like, that's what I want to hear.
Yep.
We give the people what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Posts and burritos.
that's
Post
right.
burritos.
Post burritos.
All right. If you feel like writing in your favorite burrito, we'll happily
Let
read
us
it.
know.
We're here to help.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
That was a Headgum podcast.